This is day 61. Will here on the Canadian Barrens. Had a very violent storm last night. Usual type of storm where yesterday was calm and very warm, a thaw, fully set up. And then the heavy clouds came in later in the evening, followed by rain, and then by really thick, heavy snow, and then the wind came up. And I was up around 2 in the morning, actually packing things up and getting dressed, and just in case the tent blew. The wind was at least about 70 miles an hour. It was vibrating really violently. I put the hurricane flaps out, which stabilizes the hoops on the tent. I had a good trust in the tent. I actually didn't think it was going to disintegrate, but it's best to be prepared, because if the tent blows apart on you and you're not fully dressed, well, tough luck. All your clothes are immediately gone. Everything blows away. So it's best to always be prepared on these big storms like this. The same pattern as the other Barren Lands storms I've had, the last 3 of them, exactly the same thing. They came up on the top and then came up very quickly. That's the danger of these Barren Lands storms, is they come up really fast. And the other danger, too, if by chance, if you're caught out alone without protection in these storms, there's a very good chance you're just going to be toast, because what happens is you get that moisture, you get the rain, and followed by the wet snow. So if you're unprotected and you get soaking wet, and then all of a sudden you've got a 70-mile-an-hour wind and very cold temperatures, it's very hard to survive in the open like that. So you got to be very careful. And I'm very cautious anywhere in the Barren Lands when it warms up. It's easy to get lost in this country, but I just play it very conservative. But anyways, that was exciting last night. And then in the morning, the muskox that were camped out next to my camp here were still here. There were 6 or 7 of them. There was always one big one standing up, watching the herd, and the rest of them were laying down, taking it easy. And then around 11 o'clock, they just started roaming and took off. So they're now a distant part of the landscape. And yesterday when they came, it was really kind of strange, because I looked out and all of a sudden I saw these huge rocks. And the Barrens are so deceptive. And I thought maybe there's hills or rocks, and with the thaw like this, thought something was exposed that I didn't see in the white. All this happened within a second or two. And I was, to cache my canoe here in the open, I needed rocks, and that's immediately what I thought about. And then I looked at them, and of course, I made them out as muskox. But my company is gone now, and I took the day off here again because of the wind. The wind was quite strong in the morning. It's just a pretty average 25, 30 mile an hour right now. And it's warm in this tent because it's black and it's partially sunny right now. So very calm and peaceful here. Today, despite the wind and the cold, the tent was like 70 degrees, very dry. I didn't have to use a stove or anything to heat it. So tomorrow I'll be on be traveling. I'm going to be looking for a place to cache this canoe first. I got three goals here. I have to cache the canoe, and then I'll come back here next year and resume this trip. I'll head north to the Arctic Ocean. The second thing I have to do is find an airstrip to be picked up on the 27th. Dave has a larger plane that's coming in, so it needs a longer strip, and it has to be smooth. And then the other part is I have to find a pass the way over the divide here between the Thelon and the back in order to get to the back next year. So but tomorrow I'm going to take care of the caching of the canoe first and get that out of here, and then I'll travel by this little plastic sled. So okay, well, things are peaceful again here on the Barrens, and this is Will here, May 19th, day 61, checking out. Over and out.